It's the most wonderful time of the year. Bowl season is once again upon us, a time when we can have college football playing nearly every day for the next few weeks, including regular office hours. Any excuse I could take to have football playing in the office, I'll take, damn it. Yes, there are an egregious amount of bowl games, but thankfully 81 of the 82 teams don't have losing records. This video will cover every single one, including the playoffs. It's a lot of goddamn content, so let's not waste any more time. I'm starting here despite the fact that the HBCUs are not FBS. However, it is actually a bowl game, the only one in FCS in fact, and it's for the HBCU National Championship. There's a lot at stake, and this is shaping up to be a very lopsided one here. Both teams are making their first ever Celebration Bowl appearances, and they were both rivals in the MEAC once, but they took very different paths to get here. Florida A&M is coming off an 11-1 season after winning their first conference title in over 20 years, with their only loss coming from USF back in September. Quarterback Jeremy Musa has thrown for over 2,600 yards and 19 touchdowns this season and has been the cornerstone of the Rattlers offense. Favorite target being wide receiver Marcus Riley, averaging 20 yards per catch this year. But even if you double his ass up, he's got Jamari Shareed as his number 2 weapon and tight end Cameron Young as the safety valve. The defense has been lights out, giving up 14 points per game this season. Behind linebackers Isaiah Major and Johnny Chaney, with Anthony Dunn Jr. being a wrecking ball on the defensive line. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Howard is in deep shit against the Rattlers. I'm aware being 6-5 is not a serious sign that they are screwed, as they had to play a tough non-conference schedule against 2 FBS schools, including Ivy League champ Harvard. Despite this, they were able to turn it around to go 4-1 in conference play to get here. They did win where it counted, but it sure as shit was not easy, winning most of their conference games by a touchdown or less. I know Quentin Williams has had a fine year quarterback, but I think against the Rattler squad, he's just snake food. Kicking off the bowl season on the FBS side is, well, whatever the fuck this is. Ohio has finished the season very strong at 9-3 behind a solid performance at quarterback in Curtis Rourke, winning 4 of their last 5. Georgia Southern, however, yeah, this ain't it, man. Losing 4 straight gives me zero confidence, especially with a defense giving up 30 points a game. I don't care that Clay Helton has thrown over 3,000 yards. If your defense can't hang, neither will you. And against this Ohio defense, I expect Southern to get shut down from the get-go. Louisiana, welcome back to the Superdome. Seriously, you guys are in this game so much you might as well live here at this point. Being perpetually mediocre is alright as long as you keep winning in these bowl games. However, there is a pissed off cock that might have something to say about it. Jacksonville State is set to make its bowl debut after a stellar season. Thankfully, despite still being in the middle of a transition period, the real Gamecocks made it into bowl season. And they look damn good. Head coach Rich Rodriguez is back in his 12th bowl appearance in his career, leading a team that has weathered the transition to FBS better than most. Had it not been for the transition period, they could have been in the hunt for a conference title game against Liberty. Zion Webb isn't impressive with his passing stats, but as a mobile quarterback, he doesn't have to be. With Louisiana having a similar offensive setup with quarterback Zion Chris, it's going to be a battle of 2 mobile offenses running for their fucking lives against the defense. It'll either be high-scoring chaos or a stalemate. Please, please win, Gamecocks. Please. Really? 11-2, win the MAC, and you get the fucking Cure Bowl on day 1 of bowl week against App State, who got dunked on by Troy. I guess you can't be too mad. Your defense shut down a high-powered Toledo offense so bad, the Rockets quarterback filed for transfer immediately after. I expect the same thing here. Jesus, people are going to start saying I hate App State. I should say something nice. Shit. Oh yeah, 2007 against Michigan was cool. New Mexico State is having an unprecedented amount of success as of late, making it to back-to-back bowls for the first time since the 50s. They also gave a hell of a fight against Liberty in a barn burner for the conference championship. They came up short, but Diego Pavia is a nightmare to stop and will be in this one as well, as long as his body stays in one piece after being riddled with injuries all fucking season. Fresno, on the other hand, is a very precarious team at the moment. Their head coach is stepping away due to health concerns, and losing 3 straight to finish the season doesn't really help matters. Depending on who starts and finishes this game, I got the Aggies taking this one, but Pavia needs to be in a bubble in the run-up to avoid missing the game. Move on over, Hollywood. Here comes Gronk hosting the LA Bowl. I hate sponsorships. The Broncos have been on a ride that is some ways comparable to their NFL brothers in Denver. Mediocre most of the season, head coach gets fired midway through, turns it around and finishes 8-5 with another conference championship. Okay, actually Denver would prefer such a ride. The problem with Boise State isn't any of the above though, as they have found a way to win all season long when it mattered. It's that the transfer portal has seriously fucked up their offense. Ashton Genty, who is one of the top running backs in the nation, decided to stay, but quarterback Taylor Green and top wide receiver Eric McAllister promptly fucked off. This means Genty will have to do the majority of the work on offense, limiting the angles of attack in this game. UCLA also lost their quarterback Dante Moore to the portal as well, but the majority of the starting roster has stuck around. Well, maybe the ultimate factor here is that UCLA also has the 15th best defense in the nation, so Blue Broncos country, prepare to die at the hands of the angry Pasadena Bear. It is a Pac-12 versus Big 12 battle of fucking me. Cal is bowling for the first time since 2019, while Tech is simply trying to stay alive. Tyler Show, the standout quarterback for Tech, has fucked off to Louisville to play his 7th season. Yes, 7. COVID has made some of these players fucking lifers, I swear. This all but kills Tech, as Show is leaving with top wideouts Miles Price and Jerran Bradley. Hard to win a gunfight with a pool noodle known as Baron Morton at quarterback. Don't get me wrong, Cal has also lost a lot of players to the portal, but the main core will remain intact for this game, so expect the Raiders to get run over. The first thing wrong with this fucking game is it's being played on 2:30 in the afternoon on a Monday. What the fuck? I know Monday Night Football prevents it from prime time, but at least you could pretend to give a fuck. Western Kentucky has an offense that will run circles around you and then kick you promptly in the dick. Austin Reed has thrown for over 3,300 passing yards and 31 touchdowns. I know the defense has question marks, but for ODU, it's going to be like trying to outrun a Corvette at full speed. Just don't even fucking try. Guess what, Herd? Pennington is back at quarterback, baby. No, not Chad. He's a fossil and he has no eligibility, but his son, Cole Pennington. He's like Arch Manning, but worse. Seriously, with Cam Francher fucking off into the portal, any chance the Herd had of keeping up with UTSA went down the fucking furnace. The defense sure as shit can't stop the Roadrunners, as Frank Harris, Josh Cephas, and a strong stable of running backs will look to force you off the cliff. Expect UTSA to win big here. This could be a fun one as well, as we have a very explosive USF offense going blow for blow against the Syracuse offense, featuring a 1,000-yard rusher in LaQuinn Allen. Garrett Schrader, when healthy, is really goddamn good as well. Emphasis on healthy here. He's been playing hurt all season, which has severely cut into his performance. 2 weeks off will allow him to heal somewhat, but USF will have the advantage here, as Byron Brown has thrown for over 3,000 yards, mainly to Sean Atkins, with nearly 1,000 yards receiving by himself. With the USF defense giving up 30 points a game, the Bulls will need to spray and pray with this one. And I think they will win in a minor upset, but let's not forget, on top of the injuries, Syracuse also fired their head coach. The uncertainty there could cost them the ball game. Two offenses with quarterbacks who can't throw the damn ball that well but can run like hell and make opportunities. Sure, they both have over 2,000 yards of passing, but they also share the love with the defense a little too often. Haynes King has thrown 15 picks despite the 2,700 passing yards for Tech, and John Reese Plumlee has thrown 8 picks and 13 touchdowns for UCF. This game is going to come down to two things: who can score more efficiently and who can make the fewest mistakes. Emphasis on who can make the fewest mistakes. Both teams don't have very strong defense, so expect a track meet here. What do we have here? We have a tale of two seasons. One filled with optimism only to crash into dread and disappointment, and the other unexpected and wonderful. Duke had a really fun start beating Clemson in week 1. They really savored it. Maybe a little too much. They finished 7-5 for fuck's sake. While that gives the average Blue Devils fan optimism normally, it all came crashing down when Mike Elko fucked off to the infinite money pit of Texas A&M. What's worse is your starting quarterback Riley Leonard decided to also fuck off to the transfer portal for Notre Dame. I mean, it could be worse. Grayson Loftus is alright. Most of your weapons will stick around too. Except for Jacquez Moore, he fucked off also. Troy is coming off a Sun Belt Conference title win and looking to cap off a strong season with Gunnar Watson being near perfect at quarterback with 3,300 passing yards and 27 touchdowns and 5 picks. God damn! That wasn't bad enough for Duke. Kamari Vidal has ran for over 1,500 yards on the ground, including 5 touchdowns against App State in the championship game for the Sun Belt. 5 in one fucking game. Jesus Christ. Troy is coming in stupid strong and riding high off the championship, looking to cap off the season with a statement win, and I'm going to side with the Trojans here. Seriously, this team is not to be fucked with. This is a tough one to gauge as both teams flew way under the radar this season and I didn't pay any goddamn attention to them. Northern Illinois had a pretty pedestrian season from the look of it, led by quarterback Rocky Lombardi, while running back Antario, not Antonio, Antario Brown rushed for over 1,000 yards. Thank God it's not that other clown. While I would say wide receiver Trayvon Rudolph would be a weapon in the upcoming game, he fucked off for the portal. The offense spat and sputtered most of the season, driving down the field like a Ford Pinto with all 4 tires slashed and the engine missing. Arkansas State, however, is also that Ford Pinto if it was then shot out with a cannon loaded with grape shot and set on fire, just as the founding fathers intended. The offense for NIU at least has some weapons, while Arkansas State's kind of just there. They're not bad, but that defense is just the fucking worst. NIU, don't make any mistakes here with your quarterback, and it's your game to lose. James Madison, welcome to the dance. It's not what you deserved or wanted, though. Instead of a fiesta in Arizona against Oregon, you get a broke-ass quinceañera hosted in a rundown gas station in the middle of Texas. Could be worse, right? Could have not been bowling at all? No? Ah, fuck it. You're here, so while you can, serve the nation by serving an ass whooping to the Air Force. I don't know what the fuck happened, but they went from top 25 and potentially on the way to a New Year's Six Bowl to absolutely imploding at the halfway point. James Madison is riding the momentum after going 11-1 and are a lock to win their first ever bowl game. With the bad losing streak at Air Force, this should be an easy win. Oh, okay. I mean, you expect to lose 1 or 2 people to the portal. It's not like... Oh, boy, that sucks. I mean, but, you know, they're interim. They got a good assistant coaches over there, so even with the interim coach, that offense is still high cap. Maybe this won't be easy after all. For Georgia State, they have lost 5 in a row. Top wide receiver Robert Lewis has fucked off to the portal, and if their running back Marcus Carroll gets shut down early, this game is already fucking over. If it were anyone else that they were playing, I would say they are probably fucked. However, Utah State's quarterback room has been looking a lot more like the emergency room lately. Cooper Lagasse and McKay Hillstead got injured, and their third-string quarterback, Levi Williams, had to come in and save Utah State's season and bowl berth, winning the final game of the season. By the way, the dude is finishing the season to serve in the Navy SEALs. Jesus, that's badass. Fuck it, I got Utah State by 10. What's to lose? This is going to be brief. Eastern Michigan had one player worth a damn. Quarterback Austin Smith, but guess what? He fucking hit the transfer portal and got the hell out of Dodge. Facing a deadly South Alabama offensive attack led by quarterback Carter Bradley and running back led Damian Webb, I got 2 words for Eastern. You're fucked. Let's take a moment to appreciate the accomplishment that this is for Northwestern. As we all know, or maybe you didn't know, during the offseason, head coach Pat Fitzgerald got fired after allegations of a culture of hazing came out on his team, completely derailing the team's preparation for the lead up to the season. Saw an exodus of high-quality talent via the transfer portal in the aftermath of said firing. We're sitting Ducks at 3-6 at the start of November, and somehow managed to claw their way back into bowl season, winning their last 3 games. That is an incredible testament to the mental toughness, and I, for one, respect the hell out of them and congratulate them. Utah wins, lol. God damn, they are really flying coastal across the country and the Pacific Ocean to get their fucking asses kicked? God, it's going to be a miserable flight back, I'm sorry to say. If Grayson McCall hadn't fucked off to UCF via the transfer portal, they would have a shot. But now he's one of 16 players who entered the portal. And it's not just red shirts either. It's some damn good talent. On top of McCall leaving, safety Taven Jackson, wide receivers Jared Brown and Tyson Mobley, even the fucking punter Evan Crenshaw is getting the hell out. What the fuck is going on in Myrtle Beach? Jesus Christ. Enjoy the free win, Spartans. Congratulations, Minnesota. You suck fucking balls. But you have more brains than Mississippi State, so despite being 5-7, you get to go to a bowl game. And you don't deserve to fucking be here either, but if you gotta be in one, at least your poor souls got sent to Detroit. The Gophers play a decent MAC squad in Bowling Green, and while I would normally just throw in the towel and give this to the bigger schools, their star quarterback fucking transferred for the Gophers. That means Cole Kramer, who threw one pass all season, will be forced to start this goddamn game. I'm gonna be real. The squad lost 2 games against Illinois and Purdue towards the end of the season and had very unconvincing wins against Nebraska and Iowa and couldn't even beat Northwestern in overtime. They're coming into Detroit looking like wounded ducks, with a Bowling Green squad not losing anyone to the portal that's worth a damn other than their standout quarter Jalen Husky. I have a feeling this offense, led by quarterback Connor Bazelak, will be able to hang with and beat the Gophers. In the end, nobody wins though. You're still stuck in Detroit. Welcome to the broke as shit Texas State Championship game sponsored by Surf Pro, where 2 lukewarm teams that couldn't even beat Timpson or Albany will play in a bowl game. Those last 2 schools, by the way, were Texas State Championship high school teams. They got to play their games in Jerry World while you rot in SMU's Rusty Horseshoe. Could be worse though, right? Shut the fuck up. I won't spend too long here. Both teams have not been affected by the portal, which is the only positive that this game has. Regardless, I got Texas State winning because TJ Finley is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the group of 5, throwing for 3,200 yards and 24 touchdowns this year. Rice, on the other hand, has had quarterback by committee at times and doesn't have a Power 5 win while Texas State beat Baylor. Yes, I know Baylor was putrid. I'm grasping at straws here. There's not much to say. A few years ago, if you had told me Kansas and UNLV were going to play in a football game against each other, I would have watched it if only to be the ultimate sicko that I am. That game would have been the definition of a coughing baby versus a coughing baby. Would have been a glorious sicko bowl. But instead, we get 2 teams that are fairly good facing off in the desert in a stadium that just recently finished drying up all the champagne from the Rangers and all the tears from the Diamondbacks. It's also so refreshing to look at a stat sheet and not have to worry about the fucking portal these last 2 games. That feeling is not going to last, believe me. Kansas, it goes without saying, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but they are the heavy favorite to win here, if nothing else, because they had a very big win against Oklahoma earlier this year. And Devin Neal at 1,200 rushing yards has been carrying this team most of the year. UNLV just got done getting run the fuck over by a stampede of Broncos in the Mountain West Championship and are looking to find some momentum heading into the offseason behind Jaden Moivia, throwing for over 2,700 yards this season. Given the fact that they were badly exposed on their run defense last game, I don't expect them to be able to stop another Stallion, but who the fuck knows. Tech, I hate to tell you, but you are not getting a cupcake from the AAC. You are getting a very pissed off Tulane squad that just got upset by SMU after coming off of a New Year's 6 win. Remember how I said TJ Finley is one of the best quarterbacks in the group of 5? Meet the baddest fucking quarterback in the group of 5. Michael fucking Pratt. Over the last 3 years, he's been the best in the American and was the leader behind the comeback win in the Cotton Bowl over USC last year. Even better for Tulane, he's not fucking done and he will be back for his senior year. This is a great opportunity for Tulane to finish strong, except head coach Willie Fritz fucked right off to Houston at the end of the season. Not to mention some weapons got lost in the transfer portal as well. Virginia Tech is favored to win here, but they look incredibly mediocre all year, notably losing games to Purdue, Marshall, and getting absolutely slaughtered by Louisville. It might honestly take overtime, but the wave will roll the heads of dead Hokies down Bourbon Street in time for New Year's, I think. Oh boy, my favorite bowl game. The one where they pour buckets of Mayo on their head coaches if they win the game. Speaking of Drake May, he's gone. He just announced it the day I'm recording this, actually. I had a little analysis on what if he actually played, which was highly unlikely, but hey, I like to be prepared, but, fuck me and my hard work, right? But even though he was not going to be a deciding factor in this game, Omarion Hampton definitely will be. He has 1,500 yards on the ground this season and can carry this offense literally if needed. On the other side of the ball, West Virginia's stable of running backs has rushed for nearly 3,000 yards combined, and with a solid quarterback in Garrett Green, they have been really good on offense. North Carolina on defense has been similar to Swiss cheese this year against the run game, so I feel like this is going to be close with West Virginia coming out to win. And now that I've said that, all of you assholes that say I hate West Virginia can shut the fuck up. Straight up, a ton of what I guess are mostly old men, according to the stats on my West Virginia video, commented all butthurt because they don't know what good shitposting is. Seriously, learn to take the damn heat or get out of the kitchen. I don't have a problem with West Virginia personally, just being one of the most successful programs in FBS history and not winning a national championship was of course going to get you lined up in front of my firing squad. Welcome to the Holiday Bowl, or I would like to call it this year, the Depression Bowl. Louisville had a golden opportunity against a weak Florida State squad to capture the ACC championship and failed miserably, capping off a 2-week stretch of extremely disappointing performances. All the momentum you had from this season evaporated at the hands of Kentucky and got set on fire at the hands of Florida State. But let's get to the sad sack of shit in the room here. USC, I don't know what to do with you. Preseason number 6 in the nation to 7-5 with your former Heisman Trophy winner from last year not even sniffing a repeat, let alone the playoffs. It's a collapse equal to the fall of Troy itself. Naturally, Caleb Williams has already packed his shit and left for the NFL. Head coach Lincoln Riley has a lot of fucking questions to answer about what the fuck he is even doing there. The longer he is around this team, the more convinced I am that he is a fraud. You can blame Alex Grinch all you want, but his ass wasn't the one that stole Christmas for USC. The final weeks on offense, USC got shut the fuck down as well, with Caleb fucking Williams. If USC loses this game, Lincoln's seat is going to go from hot to fucking nuclear. Congrats, Texas A&M, you made it to Houston, home of the 2024 National Championship game. You're just not playing in that game. Maybe someone there has some tickets you could buy, though. After an absolutely insane amount of money getting paid out to Jimbo Fisher to not fucking coach the team anymore, you get the luxury of getting pitted against your old Big 12 rival Oklahoma State. Beyond this game, you are absolutely fucked. How fucked exactly? Let's look at that transfer portal. Raymond Cottrell, Max Johnson, Jordan Gilbert, Jake Johnson, Chase Pasantis, LT Overton, and to top this shit Sunday off, Walter fucking Nolan have all left for the transfer portal, completely destroying your team and any hopes you have of winning the bowl game. Mike Elko coming in will help soothe the pain this offseason, but for now, just take the loss on the ass, get in the corner, and think about what the fuck you've done. Well, this is embarrassing. You won the American Championship just before jumping to the ACC and effectively get a road game at the Fenway Bowl against future conference opponent Boston College. If this isn't disrespectful, I don't know what the hell is. Frankly, you should have been in the New Year's Six, but the 2 losses were just too much to overlook. On the bright side, you get to take out your frustrations on a very weak and very dead Eagles squad who barely made it to this game. Just end this quickly, Mustangs, and don't let them suffer. You'll be suffering right alongside them next season. It's all about the U, and you fucking suck, Miami. So much promise behind Tyler Van Dyke washed away in a hurricane of a season. You didn't even come close to reaching your potential. Frankly, neither did Rutgers, but unlike the Knights, you had expectations, and the Knights did more than anyone expected. While Rutgers was led by Kyle Monagai, rushing for 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns, quarterback Gavin Winsat was just there. So I think even with Van Dyke leaving via the portal, Miami still has a chance here. But don't be surprised if Rutgers keeps it close late. The fucking Pop-Tarts Bowl. Goddamn Pop-Tarts Bowl. Because that's what I want sponsoring my college football bowl games. Pockets of pastry diabetes. Thing is, this bowl has actually been here for a while now. It's just been through so many name changes, you would think it's in the witness protection program. Kansas State, I hate to tell you, but Will Howard got the hell out of here via the portal, and your second best running back, Trayshawn Ward, left with him. Add that to cornerback Will Lee on the defensive side, you're going to be in for a rough night against the Wolfpack, who are white hot, winning 5 straight, including games against Miami, Clemson, and North Carolina. Brennan Armstrong for NC State isn't no Will Howard, but he doesn't have to be with Kevin Concepcion there to bail his ass out. With Kansas State being forced to break in a freshman quarterback for this game, it's an easy pick to go for the Wolfpack here. And steps forward, another victim of the transfer portal. Come on, Oklahoma. It's your turn. Dylan Gabriel decided to transfer again. This time he took his talents from Boomer Sooner to Nike University. Frankly, that's a massive loss for Oklahoma, as he was the cornerstone of that offensive attack. You also lost your running back room with Walker, Major, and Smothers hitting the fucking bricks. God damn, all 3 of them? And that's not even getting into the defense. Simply put, this is not going to be the same Sooners team that we saw a few weeks ago, and it'll be interesting to see if Arizona can cap off a strong season. They have virtually lost no one to the portal, behind a solid year by their quarterback and McMillan at wide receiver, finishing off 6 wins in a row. I got them as a slight favorite to win. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Dear Lord, Clemson, what the hell happened? It's like the movie Hangover with them right now. After a multi-year bachelor party full of drinking and celebrations, they finally woke up hungover in the middle of Jacksonville with a pissed-off Wildcat in their bathroom. Cade Klubnik is not Trevor Lawrence. That much has been made abundantly clear. He's good, but he's not great. When the running backs have as many touchdowns as the wide receivers, you know you're in fucking trouble at the quarterback position. Add up defensive players lost to the portal, and it's like waking up with a tattoo on your face that you don't remember getting. Kentucky, on the other hand, is far from a hangover mess, but is hungry for more. A stunning upset over Louisville changes a team. There's a lot of hope here for the future for Kentucky with them gaining transfers via the portal for next year. Still going to go with Clemson, as I think Dabo will pull something out of his ass, but it's not going to be easy. Another team that has fallen far from the heavens includes God's favorite pain in the ass. Notre Dame. Feels like every season we keep hearing, "We are back, we are back, we are so fucking back." And then you piss your pants against Ohio State, and then again against Louisville, and then you decide to shit yourselves in front of everybody against Clemson, because why the fuck not? Sam Hartman was fine this year, but he's gone after this game, so what's the plan? Oh yeah, Riley Leonard for Duke, eh? Another ACC transfer quarterback like Sam Hartman. That worked out so well, why not a second time? This won't backfire at all. Oregon State, you just lost DJ to the portal, along with a fuck ton of other players, so enjoy the hellhole of El Paso and the Frosted Lakes, because those Beavers already lost their teeth. I apologize here and now. I was really goddamn tired when I wrote this part of the script, and the majority of it didn't come out making any goddamn sense, so I'm going to be brief here. Apologies to Iowa State and Memphis. If you wanted me to talk about you more, you should have played better. Both teams didn't really lose anybody in the transfer portal, and their stats are relatively the same, so let's just flip a coin and get it over with. Congratulations, Iowa State wins. After the loss to Michigan, I figured Ohio State would lick their wounds, come out strong, and take care of business more or less as the same team they were all year. Well, that optimism died quick. Kyle McCord is transferring out of Ohio State along with wide receiver Julian Fleming. Sure, Maserati Marv is still playing and may come back next season, but now we gotta contend with a quarterback in Devin Brown who lost the fucking job to Kyle McCord. Missouri is by no means a pushover. Their only losses this season were against LSU and Georgia. Brady Cook leads a Tiger squad that has been absolutely electric and has been at their best since they joined the SEC. And it's going to be a tough opponent against the Ohio State defense that has been able to step up to the challenge every game so far. Now, I don't know if you guys ever seen my logo. I'm a little bit biased here, and I want Ohio State to win. But frankly, Mizzou is really goddamn good. I'm not going to lose my shit if they somehow pull out a win here and beat Ohio State. Not to mention Ohio State has a really shitty record against the SEC in bowl games, so yeah. God damn, I still can't believe we lost to fucking Michigan. God damn it! That defense for the Nittany Lions is really goddamn good. Against Michigan and Ohio State, they gave up just over 20 points. The problem for them isn't defense at all. It's the fucking offense. Sure, Drew Allar has nice stats, but when you actually look at the stats game by game, you begin to see that he is not a big-time player. He struggles badly in big games, and it's not even close. He is not a high-caliber quarterback. Ole Miss, on the other hand, has no problem playing in big games. They have a high-caliber offense, scoring nearly 35 points per game. But will it be enough to crack that vaunted Penn State defense? No. It's going to be a fucking mud fight. But Ole Miss will still win because Allar is absent in big-time games. Little Tagovailoa is looking to end his career strong with this game against an Auburn team that has been exposed bad a few times this year. Yes, Tigers, we know you almost beat Bama. We also know you lost to New Mexico State, for crying out loud. I don't give a fuck. Y'all are still a sorry-ass football team. Tua's little brother will get a win in his final game against Big Brother's little bitches in Auburn. Do you know how fucked the Seminoles are? It was bad enough to get snubbed due to Jordan Travis's injury after going 13-0 and winning the ACC despite that. That was bad. Now you get to be dog food to a pissed-off Bulldog squad that just got eliminated by Alabama in the SEC championship game from the playoffs. Not to mention, your quarterback options if you're Florida State are dog shit and horse shit. Which one do you want to eat? They're bad either way. Tate Rodemaker at quarterback is not it. He is good in a pinch. He's fine for a moment. But against a 5-7 Florida team, granted, it was in the swamp, but against a 5-7 Florida team, he performed really poorly. Really poorly. And your freshman quarterback that started the ACC championship wasn't much better either. This is a game I would probably avoid because being a witness to a murder is not exactly good for your mental health. Of course, Georgia wins this game. They're going to be on a revenge tour next season. Okay, what the fuck is this? The CW, the fifth best broadcast network on television, got an exclusive game with Barstool Sports? Shit, man, this game isn't worth a fuck. I'm sorry. Toledo, I hope you enjoy the warm weather, because with DeQuan Finn fucking off to the transfer portal, Wyoming is going to have your ass behind their quarterback, Andrew Peasley. Unless Penny Boone just runs over the Cowboys defense, it's going to be a really long night for you. Wisconsin, step right on up and pay tribute to our new Lord and Savior, Jaden Daniels, Lord Heisman himself. His apostles, Malik Neighbors, Logan Diggs, and Brian Thomas Jr. will forgive all sins alongside the new Bayou Messiah. Pray for forgiveness of our Lord God, Joe Burrow, and his holy son, Jaden Daniels, and ye will be granted eternal afterlife in the off-season and entry to the mossy bayou gates of Bourbon Street. Not to get too preachy, we know Jaden's probably not going to play much, if at all, if only to make sure his buddy Neighbors breaks the all-time receiving yard record. He was only like a 20-something yards away. Even still, even if you're playing against LSU's second team, Wisconsin, you are fucked. Hold on. I'm getting breaking news. Breaking news just came into the studio bay. Iowa still can't fucking offense. They haven't been able to offense since the Stone Ages. Right, got it. They somehow made it here by playing football so bad and boring. Walter Camp is doing laps in his coffin. You can't make this shit up. If Iowa got 20 points on the board, they threw a fucking parade this season. The offense is abysmal, but the defense, that stubborn fucking Midwest defense kept you alive when you should have been dead on the highway. Congratulations to your asses being the sicko champions of the season. Tennessee definitely has the talent to crack that defense and make it through for some touchdowns. May not be a cakewalk because that defense is really goddamn good, but I still think Tennessee's going to win this game. Liberty, you did it. You have gone 13-0, won the conference title, and made the New Year's Six, the Fiesta Bowl. Sure, you get to play Oregon, and Oregon is not exactly happy to be there with you, having to be stuck there like a babysitter to a toddler. But look on the bright side. If you lose, then whatever, it is what it is. But if you win, somehow, you could take this program the route of Boise State of years past and rock it to the top of the group of 5. Will that happen? No, I don't think Liberty's going to win this game, but it would be funny as fuck if they did, if nothing else than to tell Oregon to fuck off for helping to kill the Pac-12. Finally, we have made it to the playoffs. The 4 teams who have worked all season to make it here, and we can now finally talk about them. This took way too long to research and write, and if you can't tell, I kind of said fuck it to the stats those last few bowl games. I'm sorry. I really spent a long time on this. In the granddaddy of them all, you got 2 teams steeped in controversy. One team, you have everybody pissed off at them for being here. The other team, you have everyone pissed off at them for being here. Oh, okay, so both of them. Someone's going to be pissed and someone's going to be happy. Michigan, despite getting busted for cheating and Harbaugh getting benched for half the season at the front end for recruiting violations and the back end for the cheating scandal, ran the table against a fairly easy schedule other than the Buckeyes and Penn State. Those 2 games, though, they won without Harbaugh and without doubts. J.J. McCarthy was not a Heisman, but he's been deadly for Michigan, throwing only 4 picks all year and 2,700 yards passing. That defense has been lights out. It's one of the best in the nation as well. They look all around the best in the nation, and it makes me fucking sick to admit that. Alabama, on the other hand, has had a slow start turn into a hot finish. After a home loss to Texas and an extremely close call against Auburn to finish the season, they denied Georgia a chance at a three-peat in the SEC championship. Jalen Milroe has not been at his best all year, but clearly he is at his best right now after carving up that Bulldog defense. The defense for Alabama has, as usual, been on the top of their game, shutting down all comers since the loss to Texas. No, I do not like that they are here. Out of principle, I think an unbeaten conference champ like Florida State should have been here. But again, I understand the logic, and the win versus Georgia made it clear Alabama belongs here. Damn it. Speaking of teams that beat Alabama, Texas is back. For real now. No bullshit. You know, once I was making a video mocking Texas's long streak of bullshit since they won their last national title in 2006. Yeah, that video will not be seeing the light of day if Texas goes all the way to win this damn thing. Ewers has been a gunslinger of a quarterback this year, throwing for 3,100 yards and 21 touchdowns. They took a very good Oklahoma State team and obliterated them to secure their spot here. There's no denying the Longhorns unless you happen to be the cardiac kids themselves. Washington's quarterback in Penix Jr. has gone from unreliable and unwanted to unfucking deniable. Heisman finalist, laying it all on the line every game, willing this Washington team back to the playoffs and potentially a national championship if it fucking kills him. If Washington's offense, led by Penix and Odunze at wide receiver, can get going fast and early, it's going to be tough for Texas to contain them. In last year's semifinals, we had 2 very good games, and I expect 2 extremely good games here. I don't expect any blowouts, which would be incredible once again, but I'm likely wrong, and honestly, so is this pick. Washington will beat Alabama for the national championship. Penix brings a national title to the Pac-12 on their fucking deathbed. Fuck you, Alabama, and fuck you, SEC. It is about 1 in the morning, and I'm about to export and upload. So, if y'all can give me a like and a subscribe, I would appreciate it. This took a long time and a lot of energy to make. It's the longest thing I've ever made for anything, YouTube-wise. So, it was fun. It's a great learning experience, and I hope you all really enjoyed. Have a happy holiday and a happy bowl season.